Figured I'd give you guys an update about what's going on. I'm riding down the highway heading towards Flagstaff, and I've just been on a pretty long mission. So for the last couple of months, we've been in talks with the Navajo Nation, the company I've been working with, and we got a call from them to come out to the Navajo land and help them out with the decontamination. So we've been out there with the crew, kind of showing them what we're doing, how this stuff works, and we've been hitting up the spots that they normally house a lot of the people in quarantine. So we're going in there, spraying down the rooms, trying to keep all the stuff clean, helping them work the logistics on how to take care of all the stuff. And then what we're doing is we're probably sticking around. We're going to be hiring some people from the Navajo Nation. And you know, what's interesting about this whole process is that right outside of Navajo Nation, a lot of times we're heading out into like the Arizona area of it. The bulk of Navajo Nation sits in Arizona, but it's in Utah as well as New Mexico. But when you go out into Arizona, I mean, it's like nobody cares, you know. And then when you turn on the TV, they're like, numbers are spiking in Arizona. Hospitals are filling up. Doctors are working overtime, you know. Meanwhile, in the Navajo Nation, you know, they're being pretty hardcore with it. Like right now, I'm about to drive into a 57-hour lockdown that they're doing for the entire weekend. The only reason I'm able to drive in and not, you know, get arrested or anything, at least I hope, is that we have staff passes to get us to our campsite. I've already been out there. One thing about being out on Navajo land is, especially with the way we're set up, because we're set up like a camp, we have to resupply, you know, and like this weekend with everything being locked down, we headed out before the weekend to go get my truck back in California. And so, you know, we had to leave there to go back out to the rest of regular America, if you will, and try to get some supplies so we can stay up there, you know. But I know you guys haven't seen us much. We did a pit stop with Annette and Ray, and that was a lot of fun. So we were down in Tucson for a little bit. There's a testing company out there that we're utilizing to show them the efficacy of our product. Basically, efficacy is a word I picked up in the last year. I've learned in this industry. What it means is that how well it cleans. You know, how much that it actually decontaminates. So that's been quite the journey. You know, interestingly enough, there's always these companies who've been coming in offering a similar sort of a deal, but 9 out of 10, if not all, that we've encountered are unwilling to divulge what kind of, you know, decontaminant they're using. Whereas with us, we're like, here's the APA report, you know, here's the peer-tested or peer-reviewed study, and you know, this is what it's actually supposed to do. Here's the science behind it. And I think that was really comforting for them. So much so that just this weekend, our crew got sent out to do Navajo Health Command. So that's like at the capital. I don't know if you guys know, but Navajo Nation has a capital, and if you weren't aware, it's about the size of West Virginia, and it's larger than 3 New England states put together. Like if you put Delaware, Massachusetts, and I think Rhode Island or something like that into a little cluster, Navajo Nation's still bigger. So you know, it's kind of an odd place in so much that it's like the size of a state, and they have their own capital, but it's not really taught in our school books, like anything about them. You know, I'm learning more about them as I stick around. I'll tell you what though, Navajo land is some of the most beautiful places in all of America. If you want to see the Southwest and understand like what the soul of the Southwest is, at least for the land, I think Navajo Nation is probably the best place. There's really amazing canyons. There's cliff dwellings. The Four Corners is up there or over there, and there's these land formations. Like their capital is called Window Rock. Window Rock is called Window Rock because it's a big rock with a window in it. It's a natural formation. There's a big hollow hole through the rock. So that's the site of their capital. You'll find a lot of their public works there and stuff meant for the community, meant for the youth. That place is beautiful. But what's interesting about Navajo is, they don't call themselves Navajo. That's a name that one of their neighbors used for them. And when that tribe was ran into before the Navajo, they said, who are those people? The name that they give them, right? But the people on what we call Navajo land are the Dene people. And it's spelled in various different ways. D-I-N-E followed by an H in some cases. Sometimes they just put a little kind of hash mark above it to kind of denote that it's saying Dene. So as far as how they view themselves and how they think of themselves, and the name that they consider themselves is Dene, not Navajo. But all of the U.S. government / Bureau of Indian Affairs stuff refers to them as Navajo. But looks like we're going to be hanging out here and working and doing different sites for many months ahead. So it looks like we're sticking around. We're working on getting a house out here and setting up. I've been here for a few weeks now, and time's just flying by. We're just trying to get things done. So figured I'd update you guys, let you kind of know what we're doing, what's going on, and give you a little update. We are going to be coming up with a fundraiser if you guys want to get involved. This fundraiser is really special because, like, the contract work that we have right now with the Navajo includes public spaces that they have, right? These are their major facilities, and the places that all the public likes to use, or where they're at on a regular basis. So what we're going to be doing for them is setting up a fundraiser. Now, there's people on the Navajo Nation that are over 110 years old. There's one lady who was like 114 years old. Well, like, whenever people get exposed and they've been around the house, there's whole families that are afraid to go back to their homes because someone has had coronavirus. Unfortunately, that doesn't fall within the guidelines of the U.S. government for the money that they allocated to the Navajo tribe. So we're going to have to raise money to pay for the services for these individual private residences, grandma's house and, uncle and auntie's house up the road, all of those folks. If they're dealing with COVID-19 or they've had someone with COVID-19 around, even though we're spraying at the, city hall and things of that nature, it doesn't do a lot for them at home. And one thing you got to keep in mind is 40%, up to 40% of the Navajo Nation has no running water and no electricity, or no regular electricity. So it's really hard to keep their places safe and secure from the disease. So we're trying to help them out with that. And you guys can get involved by helping sponsor some of the families that are there that can't afford to actually get these kind of services. We're going to dole out as much as we can. And, just so you guys know, it's not like we're not doing it for free too. We are. But there's so many people that we're going to need your help to be able to cover that much territory and that many people. So, hey guys, there's a great thing that you can do. Stay involved, stay in touch, just keep watching us. I appreciate you sticking around. I know this isn't quite Yang Gang stuff, but I'm hoping that Andrew Yang at some point might be interested in what we're doing, and maybe help bring some attention. I know Sean Penn's been out here and quite a few others, Michael Phelps, but we need more attention to what's happening here. This is a tragedy. It's a long time coming. We don't want to wait for the reckoning day the way we have with the African American people. Let's acknowledge all this stuff, and then while we're at it, let's get rid of that team in Washington D.C. Why is the team of the biggest sport in America, of the capital of this country, why is it a racist symbol to describe Native Americans? How can we honestly say to ourselves that we're getting over this racist phase and trying to work it out, while if you work it out with black people but simultaneously slap Native Americans in the face, then how are you not racist? I think that you're just going through the motions so you don't get bothered anymore. Anyways, I've rambled for long enough. Have a good day, guys. Hope you enjoy the glowing golden light of the Arizona sunset. Tim.